Hi there. Hi, it's a beautiful sunny Wednesday here in London, and I'm actually in Hampstead Heath today. This is the famous Hampstead Heath run by the City of London Corporation. That's the map there. And you can see it's a huge area of green and natural, uh, wild fields and that sort of thing. It's a fantastic place. So if you're ever in London, make sure you come to Hampstead Heath. This is kind of one of the entrances, but it runs right across to Parliament Hill Fields and up to Golders Green, the Spaniards Inn. There's Kenwood House there where they have concerts in the summer. It's really an amazing place, and you've got cafes there. This is Hampstead Heath itself. It's a lovely area. Of course, very expensive to live here. You wouldn't get a flat around here for less than about £500,000 for one bed. There's Royal Free Hospital there, that modern building you can see there. Anyway, so what's been happening today? Well, a very small article in the paper, you think this would have hit the headlines. It says 20.9 billion COVID loans gone. And that's nearly 21 billion of taxpayers-backed loans during the pandemic, which will never be repaid, say the Office for National Statistics. Well, what I say was, it took a genius to work that one out. I said this at the start, that loans were being given out left, right and centre without the proper checks. And of course people were taking them and running off with them. We knew that. I didn't know anybody who was doing it, but I knew of people that were taking out several of these bounce back loans in different company names. They were never going to be repaid. They just said, thanks very much, great. And the UK debt now is 2.2 trillion. That's 97.6% of GDP. So nearly everything, it's nearly as much as we produce is now the debt, which is incredible, and that's going to have to be repaid at some stage through higher taxes and probably years of us, us and our children and our grandchildren paying back these loans. So where are we now? Market recovery, home sales bounced in August. Home sales bounced back in August by about a third. Estimated 98,000 transactions took place, a 32% rise on July, according to HM Revenue and Customs. And the market activity had dipped in July after the June stamp duty ending, but it's risen again. This could be partly through people not being able to complete on their previous transactions. It could also be that there's another stamp duty holiday in place if you can complete by the end of September. So people can save up to £2,500, which means that there is another rush to buy right now. Other things been happening is that the Pensions Office, the Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, have admitted that they've underpaid many women by as much as 20 billion. And this has been highlighted because of a former pensions minister who's no longer with the department now, looking at so many cases where people have been underpaid, in some cases by £100,000 over a 20-year period, that he realised that there must be a systematic failure, and the department had not realised that there was any problem with their computer system. Now they're saying, well, there's a computer glitch, but they hadn't realised this. They were just paying people individually who'd happened to ring up and say, I think I've been underpaid, and they'd say, oh, here's a cheque for £12,000, here's a cheque for £20,000 for the underpayment, but they didn't realise that there might be a problem in the system. Well, now this former minister has highlighted this, and that they're now bringing in 500 civil servants. 500 civil servants to sort out the computer error. They call it a computer error, but we know that there's some system problem there. They blame it on an old computer, they said. So we'll see what happens. But what I'm saying to you, if you're a female who was receiving a pension of anything less than £82 a week, and you're in your 70s or 80s now, you may have been underpaid. And this is related to your husband. It mainly relates to married women who had a husband's widow's pension, because on the state pension, even if you're not earning yourself, you would get a pension entitlement from your husband, and then if your husband dies, you should get half of that. Many people have not been getting it, and in one case, somebody got a refund of £107,000 for his mother. So I would definitely look into that. It's certainly worth a phone call to see if you're being underpaid or not. The other thing a lot of people don't realise now is that after paying into this system, which I call a bit of a Ponzi scheme, because all the money you get in you're paying in now is paying out for somebody else's pension. So the people retiring now, they haven't got a fund there. They're relying on, the likes of you and me who are working, I say you and me, anybody who's working in the UK, to keep paying into the system in order to pay the payments out, which is the exact description of a Ponzi scheme or a Bernie Madoff investment fund. Now, you'd think that after 40 years, when the Revenue and Customs, the Department of Work and Pensions have been taking your national insurance contributions, they've been tracking you since birth, right? You've had a national insurance number, you've had a health insurance number, all these years. You think that when you reach, for some people it's 65, 66, they pushed it back to 67 in some cases. You think when you reach that age, they say, congratulations, here is your pension, we will now start paying you this pension. But no, they don't. You have to claim it. You have to make a claim, and in some cases wait months before it's paid out. So this is a bit of a scandal in itself, but a lot of people do forget to claim. I knew one guy hadn't claimed for years, and I said, why didn't you claim? He said, well, I had a bit of a tax problem. I wasn't paying tax for the last few years, but I think he still should have claimed. He missed out on 5 years pension contributions, and guess what? He was broke, living above a betting shop, and he was a compulsive gambler, believe it or not. Anyway, that's another story. But a lot of people don't claim it and don't claim in time. So, make sure that if you've reached the pension age, you claim. If you don't know what your pension age is, then find out. Just go onto the DWP website, put your details in, and they'll tell you what your pension age is and how much you're likely to get. And the other thing is that if a lot of women don't realise that if they've never paid national insurance, maybe because their husband or they're on low income or whatever, they can't get a pension. But apparently anybody over 80, even if they're a migrant who's lived in the country 10 years, never paid into the system, is entitled to a pension. Any person over 80. So if you're listening to this, you're over 80, or you've got relatives, grandparents, father, over 80, that have never claimed a pension because they didn't pay into the system, they are still entitled to get a pension. So there you go. Check out your pension entitlement. Make sure you're claiming your pension first of all. And for any women who may think they've been underpaid, do check this out, because there's £20 billion of money sitting there, and some of it could have your name on it. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.